Welcome to the All 4 Downs Top 25. The College Football Committee will announce its second rankings for the road to the playoffs this Tuesday. In this episode, I will explain why these schools earned their spot in the top 25. But first, let's say farewell to the two top head coaches in college football. Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tides fall short in overtime 32-31 to the LSU Tigers. This is the first time Saban has lost back-to-back seasons with two losses since the 2013 and 2014 season. Bama has participated in 7 of 8 college football playoffs and went 3-3 in the championship. Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers lose big against Notre Dame, 35-14. It was a matter of time before the Tigers fell hard after starting the season 8-0 and getting by in a few games. Clemson made the college football playoff 6 of 8, going 2-2 in the national championships. The Tigers will go back-to-back seasons without going to the college football playoffs. On the other side of things, let's give respect to the following head coaches. Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs did not receive any love from the College Football Playoff Committee as they were ranked number 3. Being ranked number 1 in the AP polls and coaches poll was probably more convincing than the results we heard last Tuesday. The Bulldogs stopped Tennessee's dreams of making the playoffs. Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines crushed Rutgers 52-17. They defeated Rutgers the same way Ohio State did a few weeks ago. Gary Patterson and the TCU Horned Frogs are having their best season in the college football playoff era. Brian Kelly and the LSU Tigers defeated Alabama. And Marcus Freeman, a new head coach for Notre Dame, found their mojo as they crushed the Clemson Tigers. There are 9 teams in the top 25 that lost on Saturday. How will they top the 25? I don't know. But here in week 11, I'm going to tell you what my predictions are and what to look for Tuesday's announcement. Starting with 21-25, UCF, Penn State, Notre Dame, Texas, and UTSA. UCF is set to take on Tulane for the top reigns of the American Conference. Penn State was dominant over Indiana and will take on Maryland next. Notre Dame and Texas eliminated their competition, setting foot in the top 25. And UTSA is the best team in ranking 16 through 20. Tulane, NC State, Coastal Carolina, Washington, and Cincinnati. Tulane will face its biggest challenge against UCF. NC State defeated ranked Wake Forest, and Coastal Carolina is the top team in the Sun Belt Conference. Washington made a comeback over ranked Oregon State. Cincinnati is holding on to number 20. Rankings 11 through 15, UCLA, Alabama, North Carolina, USC, and Liberty. Keep this date in mind, November 19th. That is the day that UCLA will host USC for the potential berth in the Pac-12 championship. Alabama falls down, and it will be the first time since 2010 that the Crimson Tides are ranked outside of the top 10. And let's give some love to Liberty. The Flames defeated Arkansas, an SEC team. They torched BYU. What more does this school have to do to make it to the top 25? I have them at 15. Ranked 7 to 10, LSU, Clemson, Ole Miss, and Utah. LSU made an impact as they tremendously climbed in the rankings. Clemson drops to number 8. Ole Miss will host Alabama. Let's see if the Rebels can remain in the top 10. Utah is another Pac-12 team with the reservations on November 19. Utah visits Oregon for a potential bid in the Pac-12 Conference Championship. And now for the top 6 teams. The College Football Committee should strongly rank these schools respectively. Starting at number 6, Tennessee. The Vols suffered their first loss to Georgia Bulldogs. It was the first time in a huge spotlight. They become the second team in college football playoff history to be ranked 1 and fall out of the top 4. Mississippi State was the first. Number 5, Oregon. The Ducks won 8 straight games. The only loss comes from Georgia in week 1. Significantly, there will be challenges for the Ducks as they take on 2 ranked teams to finish the season, Utah and Oregon State. Skipping to the number 1 team in the nation. No, it is not Ohio State. It is the reigning, defending national champions, the Georgia Bulldogs. The College Football Committee had them at number 3. The Bulldogs showed the world why they are the best team in the nation, and they will be ranked number 1. So let's give them that respect. Number 2. No, not Ohio State. It's the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan may be the second best defensive team behind Georgia. No respect is given to Jim Harbaugh and the boys. And at number 3, yes I am, Ohio State. The most enormous hype about the Buckeyes was the comeback on Penn State. They defeated Notre Dame, and they remain at number 2 should Notre Dame be ranked this upcoming Tuesday. But I will be surprised after what happened this past Saturday. However, let us remember that Michigan and Ohio State have similar schedules. The Big Ten schools are less elite compared to the SEC, and they may be compared to the Pac-12. The Big Ten is trying to be relevant, but they only will be relevant next season as USC and UCLA do cross over from the Pac-12 to the Big Ten. And number 4. That's right, TCU. Put some respect on those Horned Frogs. TCU is one of the 4 undefeated schools leading the Big 12 Conference. Like Tennessee, can they handle the spotlight as they match up against Texas this upcoming weekend? Here is Week 11 schedule for the top teams. Georgia at Mississippi State, Nebraska at Michigan, Indiana at Ohio State, TCU at Texas, which is the Big 12 showdown, probably the game of the week, Washington at Oregon, Missouri at Tennessee, Alabama at Ole Miss, UCF at Tulane, and North Carolina at Wake Forest. That is my top 25. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts on my top 25 rankings. If you are new to the show, please hit that subscribe button. Tune in this Wednesday as Joel Guard and I recap Tuesday's selective rankings and predict the upcoming games for your sports betting. It's All 4 Downs Podcast, sponsored by the CMD Central YouTube channel.